Tell our opponent GLHF. All right. We are playing a game of Defended Pawn Medium Timer Random Color against Tesseract. I think Tesseract is the person I most recently played Defended Pawn against for Season 3 of the 5D Chess League. If you haven't seen that video, you can find that somewhere on the channel. Here we go. Okay, Defended Pawn. First game of the night. Now, I really have very little clue still what opening theory looks like in this game. Okay, we got the GLHF from our opponent. He is open C3. Question is what we do now. Tang Orange just subscribed. I missed the Bible verse where Christ plays Jesus, where Christ plays chess. That's funny what I almost said. Yeah, no, it's in the Errata actually. Yeah, I believe it's Turk 420. Bad joke. It's late. Sorry I didn't have anything better cooked up, but thank you so much for the subscription, Ian. I really appreciate it. Anybody have the theory for this variant? You know, I mean, no one has the theory. Prediction started. Who is in my chat? Could it possibly be Tutor? Hello? Semet saying it's late. Sure. Yeah. No one really has theory. Start by moving the King's Knight. Well, you don't have to in this one is the thing. I mean, Knight F6, never a bad move, but all right, let's get this started. What are we going to open? How about we challenge this with a flank pawn? I don't really have a plan, but I want to challenge this with a flank pawn. Start by moving the Knight's King. Which Knight's King? All I have is Stockfish Theory and then C4. Yeah, so there hasn't been very much developed in terms of like theory for the variant, but you know, people have sort of ideas for like what has worked for them. People have played a lot more games of this than I have. There is a small like underground posse of community members who sort of do deep dives into theory at every opportunity and sort of share results. And the turn 0 version of the theory that they developed was actually getting to a place where they had very annoying to deal with repertoire. So every game, I mean, for the most part, it relied on me having absolutely no experience with the positions, which for the most part was true because I only play 5D chess on stream nowadays. But you know, there were some really interesting novelties that tripped me up all the time. People came in, you know, with their like Digolians and their absolutely crazy openings, which especially, you know, when you're like the 5D chess content creator, I think people are also excited to try to beat you with their super jank stuff, you know, for internet street cred. Whoa. Okay, what's going on here? Attacking the rook. Frappuccino the bishop to kick the queen seems okay. We don't really have to worry about her travel, do we? This is defended twice by minor pieces and then again by the king. Could offer a queen trade and then end up frappuccinoed because our... Well, where's this queen going? I'm just gonna not overthink it, probably, right? Let's just kick the queen. I'll figure out something to do with my queen. I'm not too worried about it. Let's just kick the queen. Turk 420, and then in the holiest of timelines, Semet came upon the non-believers, and through the error of their ways was made clear. They persisted in F3. Oh, that's so good. Wow. That's really moving. That verse really speaks to me, Ian. I'm not sure what it says, but it speaks to me. The thing is, I'm probably gonna push E6 anyway, right? To sort of liberate this bishop at some point, so There is a question mark around how I'm going to develop this queen, but let's just do this because it will make me feel a lot more comfortable. Um, I think playing knight f6. Because, you know, if you don't play knight f6, sorry, if you don't push e6 and you play knight f6, then, like, there's a world in which maybe a queen sacks onto here when it's only defended by the bishop and the king, and it's defending, and so you take with the king, and then, you know, as in, like, the queen happens, take with the bishop, queen sack, take with the king, and then, like, this knight move wins or something crazy, you know? And so that's the kind of thing that I want to avoid. This is kind of weird. This is kind of weird, champ. Let's just push the knight out. Right? Umbreon Gamer is now following. Thanks so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel, Umbreon Gamer. How's it going? I like your tag, Umbreon Top Tier Evolution. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for the support. The ultimate brain expander? Hell yeah, dude. It pays to be in the theory gang? Evidently. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a volume of forbidden chess. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, tapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some flagger," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Just cement and nothing more. Wow. Wow. Them's bars. You're not going to find that content anywhere else on the platform. I'm just saying. This is the 5D chess audience original. Holy. Please no copy Pastorino. Doesn't Dreamer have an opening named after him in this variant called Dreamer's Gambit? I'm actually unfamiliar with Dreamer's Gambit. I'm not sure. Sounds right. Let's think here. Well, this is where it'd be nice to have pushed b6 rather than b5, because then you get the bishop c5 action kicking the queen and also x-raying f2. But alas. So what do we do? Let's see. So up our minor pieces, there's a frappuccino that's going to happen here. That's very evident. Questions. We've got some questions. Questions are, how do we activate this queen? Other questions are probably this bishop move is happening soon, but it's never bueno to allow this pawn to go undefended. So let's see. I don't like so much the idea of pushing this pawn to liberate this queen, because at the end of the day, we're blocking our own frappuccino, and how am I ever going to get that bishop free? This isn't fantastic either. c5 enables our queen to sort of get over here, but then our bishop can't hop in here and stay defended without blocking the queen, so that's a bit of an issue. This is going to be some really clunky maneuvering, and I don't agree with this positionally, but I'm just going to do this. And the reason I am is the mantra of the channel, moon first, sink later. As viewers of any regularity will be very familiar. Let's see. Fast must be hitting me more than I thought. Fully missed the prediction. Wasn't even multitasking. Sorry, David. The price we pay. Predictions seem balanced. It's tough being a believer, betting non-trivial amounts of points. I know what you mean. Oh, okay. It's 93% belief. Wow. Ryan going all in, and then John with the 69 points in doubt. Nice. I always know when John's in the chat. If there's an Instalux 69 channel points doubt, you better believe. This is so advanced you can lose in 6 realities at once. Something like that. Well, I mean, the checkmate only happens on the one reality most of the time. But I feel you. Question is how we develop from here. Let's see. Nice thing is that this bishop isn't undefended if we move the queen. I don't know where the queen is going, to be perfectly honest with you. The thing is, this bishop is kind of locked into place. It's very awkward for him to activate this bishop. And I kind of really want to get my queen over into this direction. So, why not? Why not just play queen d6? It doesn't really do anything immediately, but you know, it gets our queen out of the mix. I find that in defended pawn, rotating the queen, however ungracefully, to the king side does a lot to relieve the tension. To unburden the minor pieces that are staring at all those kingside pawns. So we could be doing much worse. By putting the queen on d6, I've sort of locked myself in some sense into maybe frappuccinoing the bishop, which isn't the end of the world. But let's see. Yeah, if we frappuccino the bishop, then we feel much better about getting our d knight onto c6. And I feel like we're going to have a much easier time developing our queenside knight just because of this structure than our opponent will. So let's see. Yes, if you don't have competition, you just get scammed. Oh, okay. Sure. Because the king side bishop doesn't have the knight defending it. Kind of weird. Do we just frappuccino the king side bishop? Doesn't seem super useful, to be honest. But I sort of locked myself into it with this position, right? Well, then again, do you feel comfortable developing this knight now? Like, am I worried about f7 shenanigans with this queen on a dark square? Probably not, right? Like, in what world? Then again, where does this knight go? And if we want to develop this knight, we're going to undefend this bishop. So that's kind of meh. Why not play a calm, cool, and collected preparatory move? Like rook b8. Someone should do a mod that puts in Jurassic Park audio for any rook travel more than a certain number of turns. We have the technology. It can be done. Dreamer's Gambit is gambiting the b pawn to the c pawn and playing d4, I think. Oh, interesting. Gambiting the b pawn to the c pawn and playing d. Ah, yeah, okay. Makes sense. I can see it. That's an interesting idea. I haven't seen it played. I'll have to play around with that. Sinking is a speciality in this channel. That's for sure. Question, I guess, is if you lose on the board with the piece giving check, or if you lose on the board with the checked king. I think it's definitely that you lose on the board where the king is being captured. Yeah. I think that makes the most sense. Because that is the thing to which the red arrow points. You know what I mean? I think. I could see it either way. Because, you know, the piece that is being... The piece that is generating the checkmate is the one that is operant in terms of you preventing that piece from winning the game, you know? Like, that's the board on which you have to perform all of the active moves to, like, defend against the checkmate. And if you can't, then you lose. So, like, in some sense, that also makes sense. All I see is a beautiful queenside attack. I'm here to complain about Sonoy's watch streak since he's not here to do it himself. Somebody's got to do it, man. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I do all... Part of me always feels bad when I do the, like, 7 p.m. random weeknight streams. Really, just because... I mean, Sonoy is the only person who complains about the watch streak, but he does it enough. What if the kings are forked? Do you lose on both boards or only one? Because one king will be taken in the end. I think you lose on both boards. IMO. Simultaneously. Wherever the arrows point, those are the boards on which you've lost at the end of the game. Alright, we got a little bit of a time advantage. Wow, the break comes in. The break comes in. This is weird. I mean, okay, we takes with the queen. Seems not fantastic. I mean, takes with the pawn is immediately losing. So it takes checkmate. So that's not going to happen. Takes. Then again, if I enable him, if I allow him to capture this pawn, then that sets up a board for me where I can take this knight eventually. I mean, he's probably going to cover it, like, soon thereafter. I don't know if he takes this. If I hadn't already moved the rook, maybe now would be a good time to jump that right in there. Takes with the queen. Takes. Take with the queen, take with the knight. Take the bishop, recaptures bishop here. Allows me to recapture this queen. No, hold on. Sorry, I did that wrong. Take with the queen. Well, okay, so if take with the knight, then take, and then attack the diagonal, and then maybe there's something that can be done there. Alternatively, what we do still have something defending f7, so we could kick the queen here. The reason that feels maybe appealing is that there's right now nothing defending the e-pawn. The alternative is that we lock down the position, but somehow I like that less. Then again, this pawn is hanging. It's like a weakness in our structure. Okay, candidate moves. Let's narrow it down because we spent a lot of time here. I'm going to say knight g4. I'm going to say c takes d4. Let's see what okay, c takes d4, knight takes, right? Take the bishop, recaptures. There's a knight here. There's a queen defending f7, so he doesn't have to worry too much. The other thing is... Thing is, I take this queen with check, so he definitely has to, like, move away. He has to move the queen away. Where does this queen move? we have enough ingredients for knight here right now? Probably not, right? Especially with this bishop here. It makes me uncomfortable. Take knight takes, take takes. Alternatively, take knight takes knight. Maybe I want to bait him into doing this straight up. What if I do this? He takes here. That's not fantastic. Is it? It's annoying that this queen... You know what? Let's spice things up here. Let's just play c takes d4. Alright. Recaptures with the knight, which I think is the most sensible option. Now we have a few options. Capture here feels decent. It kind of makes him make an awkward rook move. I don't know how awkward it really is. Pushing this knight is actually really tempting. Or pushing this pawn, I think I might have said knight. Pushing this pawn is really tempting. Kind of really want to push this pawn. Alternatively, here, but actually I'm kind of spooked by that idea. Okay, hold on. Take takes, push pawn. It's defended by the rook. There are currently two defenders. No. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders here, so I'm not too worried about that. This is hanging, but how much do I care? Not that much. Question is, do we take this first, or do we take that second? Actually, I kind of like my rook being here and having to like recapture. So I'm going to do this, because then I've got a7 covered. Weird stuff going on right now. Weird stuff going on. Is location a property of losing? I'm the Lorax. I speak for check notes off mic. Is this correct? Takes, takes with the knight. Start giving, not only taking. The subjects of those takes are ambiguous. It's safe to say that I'm giving something up at some point in the process. New feature takes counter in a corner. Ah, jeez. I mean, it's always one of the nightmare banned words is always takes. Because I say it so much subconsciously. Someone can ban the word? Yeah, exactly. I've had to pay out many a gift subscription on the word takes. Is it a 2-in-1? Can you ban take and takes at the same time? Yeah, like any reasonable conjugation of the word counts, or like plurals. You know, if you ban take, then takes and taking and, you know, probably took, they all count. So I mean, I don't scam the channel point redemptions generally. I'm pretty generous. Oh, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. Whoa, actually, question now is, yeah, I probably want this. I probably want this just to defend this pawn. I feel like that's exactly what we wanted. Okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. Now. Like I said, the queen rotated to the king side is actually doing crazy amounts of work. Yeah. Where do we go from here? Okay, okay. Let's get real. We want to start developing our pieces. The Frappuccino is possible. It weakens the f6 square, which is never something you want to do. It could possibly play queen e7 before pushing g6. I don't know to what extent that really matters. Could kick the queen right now. What does that do for us? Well, the hope and prayer is that, for one thing, it attacks this pawn, which is undefended. I'm not positive that I'm comfortable doing that yet without another piece on f7. Then again, what's the worst that can happen, he says. We've definitely said that before and eaten our words. Do we open up too much by doing this? You know what? Okay, moon first, sink later. I don't know how. I know how. It's because I got distracted and sort of got lost in the 5D rabbit hole, but we're 4 minutes behind now. But I'd rather make this move now in preparation of knight g4 and then maybe get my queen to f6 and that'll liberate my bishop. Maybe that's the way that I do this. So we'll see. We'll see. The king and queen are cute together. Yeah, I know. It's like she's his hat, even though he's also just a hat. In this game, that's the thing. Defended pawn is that game mode where the parents have separate beds, you know? And so the reunion is always very wholesome. Whereas in turn 0, I mean, they're together from the get-go, so there's no tension to resolve. Have you ever considered doing a thumbnail based on the Eddie Izzard, do you have a flag routine? I'm not sure that I know the Eddie Izzard, do you have a flag routine? Although I generally enjoy the work of Eddie Izzard. That's a little bit weird. Okay. If I go here, what is there going to be a queen that comes up here and tries to cramp my style? Let's play a prophylactic pawn move. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's not waste any time worrying about that. Let's just step in on this. This queen's had quite a journey, huh? Not the most elegant, you know, maneuver ever, but it gets the job done. I'm your hat, Luke. Something like that. Man, you really do get an itchy trigger finger playing defended pawn, huh? I think forking the queen and f2 is always a good play. Especially when the knight here does so much work. Only because, you know, so like knight here and then you kick the queen, right? A square that makes a lot of sense is f3. And then doing this, you kick the queen again. And so he can't just kick your knight with the rook. Queen's got to do something. And I can't go here, obviously. I think kicking that queen around and also liberating this bishop by playing queen f6 is how we sort of call our plan into action. The fact that we've got this rook on a6 is actually super nice, on b7 rather. Sorry. Not only because it defends the a7 pawn, it's not super operant to the position right now, but the fact that it defends d7 as well is actually really kind of nice. Oh. He kind of forces our hand here. Because we definitely don't want to... Whoa, but isn't this maybe awkward? Well, knight here is kind of forcing. I'm inclined to make this move happen. And then if we need a waiting move, we can always capture here. I'm not super worried about it. Takes here is kind of annoying because then he's got the double attack on this pawn. But, I mean, it's not like he can take it this turn, so we're not really super fussed, are we? What I do next is probably gonna depend a lot on the direction he ends up going with that queen. Let's see. Who are we playing? We're playing Tesseract, Tony. Welcome. How's it going? We're playing a rated game of defended pawn medium timer against Tesseract. That knight move might have been a bit sketch, but I wanted to make it quickly because we're getting down to it here. The last 5 minutes of the game, Tesseract and I are both notorious flaggers. So, you know, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. It's a very operant aspect of the game. That's where I expected. Dangerous fellow, that's for sure. If I take here, he can't possibly take this knight, right? It just can't be done, right? So if I take here, and he takes this knight, I take the bishop with check, and then he's not up a piece, and his king side is fucked. Maybe I just want to do that. I'm not positive what's going on. Why does flagger sound like some type of slur? Kind of is. In some sense. Oh no, Tutor gave me a hint that I'm no longer able to follow. I might have seen it myself, but e5 is a fork. I don't know if it's good or bad, but he didn't spoiler warning. He didn't spoiler warning the message, so oops. So, you know, we play fair on the channel. We're not about to take advice from chat. All right, here, and then here isn't fantastic. We could also push this pawn. Now that the bishop isn't there, maybe it's not the worst idea. Queen trade? Is queen trade good for us? Whoa, okay, we're down to the wire. I didn't realize, I didn't catch the time. Okay, let's see here. What do we have going on? If knight takes, what does that do for us? What if we did something crazy? Like not flag, question mark? Here and then here. Then what do we do? That's not great, right? There and then there isn't fantastic. Queen here isn't the worst. Activating this knight is also a priority. I fear for this move. We're just gonna do it. Moon first. We are getting low on time, so I'm gonna go into partial quiet time here. This bishop, annoying. We can get the queen to move. Knight out. Over is probably bad. Maybe we push here. What does that change? Hold on. How does that change the position? Now he has no choice but to go there. Wait, but that's good for me. Takes. Not quite. Alright, but hold on. Let's do this. That knight was pretty crucial. Almost flagged. Not even close, baby. Almost flagged. Man, I should have played this knight move. That was actually a pretty big throw. This... Woo! Okay. Okay, tactics. Alright, okay, we did it. Holy shit. Okay. Alright, my goal there was to exploit the vulnerability of this bishop. Obviously, this was basically forced next turn because otherwise queen here was mate for me. So we had to close that up, so I knew that he wouldn't do anything about this knight move. And I played out this knight so that this would happen. And my entire goal here was to bait this queen to move because I had two ways to mate there. A was the defended f2 where the queen mates, which is the way that I ended up mating. The other way is if this queen pushes up in any way, or like over and back or anything like that, so that the bishop is undefended, which under time pressure is like possible, then taking the bishop was mate. So those were the two ways to mate. It's really difficult for this. This queen is sort of overburdened. It's got to like do all this stuff at once. And this was a bait. I mean, he didn't have to take the bait, granted, but this was kind of a bait to get him to try to set up some sort of like mate so that the queen would be over here so that I could get the winning move. Wow, that was really muddled there for a while. The tactics there, I feel like there's probably something that I missed. I don't really know, especially like potentially I think, oh, I missed a maiden too. I could have closed the door. I missed quite a basic maiden 2. I missed a maiden 2, fam. I missed a maiden 2. Okay, the maiden 2 is simple. It's queen here. And then the only way that he can threaten my queen is by placing something here or here. If he threatens the knight, then I take this and it's immediate checkmate. But here, if he just pulls the bishop back, I've got this bishop of my own, which can come here and block this bishop from capturing my queen, but this square is still empty before on my previous turn, so I still get the triagonal to get the checkmate. So I got the mate in... well, at least I found the mate in 2. I missed the mate in 2. Samet, how dare you miss a mate in 2 within the 4 dimensions? It happens, man. It happens. Turn 16 for the stonkfish.